what's up everyone? My name is Acapella. Today I'm bringing you guys another VOD review. Today we are doing Panicking in game. This is a 2750 lobby, so this is going to be mid-plat that we're going to be reviewing. We're going to be looking at some Ana gameplay today. So 28-minute game is a long one, but I'll try not to spend too much time on it. I know people like when I keep the videos shorter. Excuse me, my voice is a little rough today. I don't know why that is. So I'm gonna try to chug some water to make sure it stays okay while for the next couple hours while I talk a lot. So what's that dude's name? Lesbian Taurus. Interesting. Anyway. Anyway, if you guys have any questions in chat, feel free to ask them. I'll be checking it. I have it on my phone. Yeah, so feel free to ask any questions if you're wondering why I'm saying a certain thing, or why I tell these players what to do the way I tell them. Do not be afraid to ask at all. So are there any spaces? I think this is an Xbox game actually. Yeah. Let me check. Yeah, this is console. This is yeah, Ana main on Xbox. So yeah, nothing wrong with that though. People play on different different places. And like honestly, other than like some mechanical things, like the game is pretty much the same. Right. Obviously skill tiers are a little whack, messed up. But the game is basically the same except for like some like Pharah and Torb changes that were needed. Alright, so right off the bat, running Brig Ana. Brig isn't super strong right now, but it's whatever. Monkey Diva, Meta Comp, and then Drunkat Hanzo. So Brig should be the main one worrying about your DPS here, so you mainly just focus on keeping your tanks up. So right off the bat, scoped in way too much. They have a Hanzo up top here. If he's better, he headshots you right there. Right, we'll go back a few seconds. Right, their Hanzo's standing right here, and you're standing scoped. Right, let's look at it from his POV. That's F1. So he can literally see you, and you're standing still. Right, he doesn't look at you for some reason. I don't know why, but you're the freest kill I've ever seen. Right, just by standing still and scoping him. Right. So like, especially in the early fight, like start of a fight, you want to be unscoped as much as physically possible, especially when you don't know what the enemy team has, right? Because obviously until this timer gets to 45, you're not going to be able to see what they have other than like what you've scouted, right? So they could have a Widow sitting somewhere that you don't know, and if you're just scoped on sites like this, you'll just get insta-killed, right? This Hanzo should have insta-killed you because you're scoped. So right here, just make sure you're unscoped as much as possible, or even quick scoping. Okay. See, now that your team's deeper and they're around the corner, so you're a little bit safer. Now you can start to look to aim down sights a little bit more. But it looks like you're suffering from just 100% of the time aiming down sights. I don't think I've seen a single unscoped shot so far. Oh, quick scope, okay. Yeah, pretty much every shot is from down sight here. If that's a common theme, I'm not going to keep mentioning it all review, just because it's going to get repetitive just hearing me say, oh, you're scoped down again, lol, for 28 minutes. So I'm not going to keep focusing on that too much, but just know that that is going to be your biggest issue for sure, right? Because your positioning seems fine so far, unless we see something different later on. American Sniper Ana, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna see like that's gonna be your biggest issue, right? Because like if let's say you're scoped on sites, look at your field of view, right? All you can see is your Winston and your Junkrat, right? But if I click out of you, you can see your Brig. You can potentially see someone coming from the left side or the right side by the health pack here. But instead, you have to hard focus on one character at a time or two characters at a time. So yeah, that's like I said. I'm not gonna keep mentioning it because that's you should keep that in mind for, like, the first thing you should fix is going to be that. Just unscoping a lot more. Go into practice range, practice against the bots, do whatever. Whatever you have to do. But make sure that you're not scoping down as much, especially against snipers. Alright, so you have Nano. Let's take a look at your team comp again. You know, what are the characters that you kind of want to Nano here? Biggest one is probably going to be Monkey here. Maybe Diva if you need to save her. But she's not even in mech right now, so that's a non-issue. Hanzo, like, I recommend, like, I usually don't like giving tier-based advice, but especially in lower elos, I would just, unless it's a Genji, I would just stay away from nanoing DPS, right? But, you know, as you climb and you get higher and you get more comfortable with, you know, players being better, then you can maybe, like, start to nano your DPS in a clutch situation and they can come in clutch. But, you know, unless it's like a hard smurf DPS player, you're generally not going to be wanting to nano them. I see that you have the select nano target on. That's fine. I personally don't use it, but that's totally fine to have on. My only gripe is you were a little early on the nano. Generally, with nanoing monkeys, you want to be nanoing them when they, like, as they jump, right? Not before then. So I'm gonna assume the call here was, oh, nano monkey in, right? But you can potentially look to do that mid jump, right? Yeah, once again, just hard relying on that aim down sight. Way too much. Hey, there we go. We got someone scoped finally. Then we're just backing up because our monkey went down early. It's fine. So, positioning. They have a Hanzo, right? So, generally, I like to take these stairs here. Oops, sorry. Ah, my camera's too fast. Alright. I like to take these stairs here, but since they have this Hanzo soldier dominating up here, you don't want to be here, right? And you're still in their line of sight here, so maybe look to potentially rotate around here and even here, right? To keep yourself as safe as possible from them. Because breaking their line of sight is going to be huge, right? Because, like, obviously you're not being punished by standing here because they're not good, right? He's not necessarily able to hit this shot. Their soldier's not able to hit his rocket onto you. But, you know, once again, as you get better, the other players get better, right? So, you know, you climb up, and you're in, like, mid diamond, high diamond, and then you're playing in the same positioning because you've never been punished before, and then all of a sudden you're dying first every single fight because you're playing out in the open against snipers, right? So yeah, look to be playing here, and then move up to this, like, area right here as your monkey pushes forward, instead of being so far out in a place that is easily a place where you can easily be killed. So keep going here. Nice little sleep onto that Moira. It's really unlucky that Lucia blocked her grenade. Okay. Once again, that scope down sight is just kind of screwing you over. Your awareness is so much lower because you're not able to like see what's happening, pretty much. So hog behind, anti him, nice. Okay, priority wouldn't have been to heal Diva there. Your monkey went in, and Diva's about to get mech back, so she doesn't matter. She doesn't matter to you, right? You want to be keeping your main tank alive who only has one life. Nice sleep under the Lucio, not bad. But you're down 2 or 3 people. Okay, we bomb. Gets one. We know the Lucio's behind us. Yeah, just pretty much ignore him. Like, even like high tier Lucios can't really do a whole lot to you unless they get lucky and hit, you know, a triple dink. It's like if a Lucia's trying to frag you into the backline, it's better to just AD crouch spam, or I guess, you know, for controller left right spam with the stick, and just kind of try to ignore him as much as possible. Nice anti in the Moira. Okay. One thing I am noticing though is with the select nano button, it is taking a little too long for you to get your nanos off. Generally, like I know people who use it, and like when you want to get a nano off fast, you spam the button twice. But like for you, it looks like you're making sure that it's on the selected, and then you're clicking the nano again. No, if you're already lined up on your target, just press the button twice. Okay, it's fine. I'm not gonna gripe about missed sleeps. Like I usually don't even get like call out missed sleeps unless they're like super easy, like with my high tier players that I coach. Just because the ability is so hard to land, so that's not going to be something I'm going to be griping about. Oh, you missed however many sleeps, you know? It's like there's other stuff to worry about first, right? Practicing sleeps comes with time. Don't worry about it. Okay. Once again, aim down too much. See what happens here. Yeah. Monkey goes down. That's on him. He was out of position, and you weren't pushed up yet. Okay, we're kind of skipped through here. Lots. Okay, I'm pretty much seeing the same thing. Your positioning's not too bad actually, which is probably what got you to this elo. Is you know, your positioning's pretty solid. You're able to stay safe from the enemy team. You're not dying a whole lot, which is very good, and that's a good baseline for you to have. Obviously, with the bronze VOD review that I did on my channel, over on my YouTube channel, it was like complete opposite, right? Like the Ana was like running into the enemy team and dying a whole bunch. Here you're not doing that. You're staying very safe, even though you may be letting, even though there are some things that can be prevented by not scoping down as much. You're not dying, which is more than I could ask for, because there's a ton of Anas that just die on repeats. Although I will say, once you get to higher tiers, you may find yourself dying more because you're scoping so much. Imagine being able to position, yeah. Okay, that one was a little faster. I'm still not completely sold on the confirm nano thing. It's a good, if you find yourself misclicking nanos a lot, I guess it would be good. But like if it's getting to the point where it's taking you too long to nano people, you may like miss the opportunity. Okay, that one is a little bit of poor positioning on your part here. You see your team's getting pushed here, so you want to be backing up a little bit. You know they have grav, they have these ults coming up, so you don't want to necessarily be right at cart, right where the enemy team is trying to push to. So that's the first bit of bad positioning I've seen from you, but it doesn't look like it's a recurring theme. So we'll skip ahead here, see what happens here in the next fight.
My ultimate is charging. Form up. Get that payload moving. Healed up.
Okay. Alright. So let's see. So we know they have Ash Soldier, so we gotta be careful of that. Good positioning here behind cover. Enemy team isn't able to hit you. You hear your Widow take damage trying to find her. It looks like she grappled right as you turned around. So you lost her. Yeah, that took way too long, turning around and finding her and healing her. So when you can be healing the people in front of you. Generally, a lot of DPS players in lower elo, you're having so many issues with nanoing the wrong target, but it helped a lot when I rebound ult to D-pad so you can move your camera. Yeah, definitely. I know that's a big issue with controller players. Generally, there aren't enough buttons in the right places, I guess. I personally, like when I was playing on console, I had an Elite controller, or you can get like a Scuff controller or something that has buttons on the bottom that allows you to use your middle finger and your ring finger on both hands to press buttons. So like I had my A button, B button, and Y button. So jump, crouch, and ultimate on the backside of my controller, which allowed me to be able to look around a lot easier while I'm trying to use ults or jump for crouch. But rebinding is also a good option as well. So I keep going here. I slip onto the Winston. Okay. Nice shots. Your accuracy is pretty solid as well, which I like to see because, like, you know, you are aiming down sights so much, so you're able to hit shots more consistently. But if you can get this unscoped accuracy up, it'll help you out a bunch. Okay, so another thing, I mentioned this in the last one as well, but when you're scoped down, you're not doing it, right? Because you physically can't. You're not jumping at all, right? But as soon as you're not scoped down, you're spamming that jump key right in front of an Ashe who has high ground on you. I mentioned the last one that I did. But if this is any decent hit scan, she'll 2-tap you every single time, right? So let's see this again. So when you're aimed down sight, you physically can't jump, so it hasn't been an issue, but look at this. Their Ashe is holding high ground, and you're spamming jump. Right. Try not to nano monkey until he's at the end of his ult. So here, we'll look at this from her perspective. Dom Bizarro, I guess. The aim assist. Oh, I forgot how strong it was. It's like, just look at your head. We're gonna watch you, right? Okay, she backs away right as I say that. I think I might have got too far. But, like, you can tell just like how predictable your head movements are. And like I said, if she's any decent hit scan, she's gonna nail you every single time. All right, so you start to walk out. All right, you jump and just look at your head. Look at how predictable and easy it is to hit. She isn't looking at you, which once again is very lucky, and it's a nervous tick. Yeah, I totally get that. I do it too. I'm literally like I scrim GM plus. I play in GM plus games on PC, and I spam the crap out of jump button on accident, and I have to like make myself stop doing it, right? But it's like it's better to nip it in the bud before, you know, anything happens, but like before you get punished for it later on, right? And yeah, Ranter, one of the other players I coach, he's he did the same thing on Moira a bunch. He was jumping all the time and getting destroyed by the Sombras and Reapers in our games. So yeah, all right, we'll go back to your POV. So yeah, just make sure, like, unless you absolutely need it, don't be jumping, right? Okay. Do we have nade? Okay, no, we don't have nade. Never mind. Yeah, just make sure, like, every time they grab, make sure you nade it, so you can potentially keep them alive through it. Yeah, we're gonna keep going here. Alright. So we see our monkey's low, not much I can do. Yeah, push up to him. Okay, so we see the Ashe is diving. First thing you see when a monkey is bubbling, make sure you communicate to your team. Break bubble, whatever. It's the monkey bubble is the bane of an Ana player's existence. Nice nade. Yeah, you're hitting most of your shots. Like I said, your mechanics are pretty solid. Right, your nade mechanics are good, your sleep mechanics are good. But if I can just get you to practice that unscoped shot a little bit more, and you know, if you can get comfortable with doing it, it'll make things a lot easier. So we're gonna keep pushing up here. Alright. Yeah, that little pause doesn't seem like it's really an issue right now, but that may be like a thing later on. Like, let's say like you're nano blading and the, you know, the Genji dash shows up for you and like immediately goes around a corner. You want to be able to do it instantly. Okay, sleep for Bob. Okay. I think you thought that was the enemy team McCree, even though they don't have one. So I think this is why you moved here. I'm not positive though. Yeah, I think you might have thought that that was the enemy McCree, so you went to hide from it, but that's fine though. One thing I will say with Bob, make sure we are waiting to sleep him. Obviously nothing happens here, but wait till, you know, they had a Zarya, make sure he doesn't get bubbled, you know, make sure he doesn't get DM'd, whatever, by a diva. So like it's and like you also get more value out of it because he doesn't stay as long after, you know, the Bob wakes up, right? So it's generally better to just wait a little bit, like a second or two, to sleep the Bob. So Kree finds a big 3k, and you guys are just gonna keep pushing here. Skip ahead a bit. See the monkey top left. Once again, really good positioning. I really like your positioning here. Very good spot to be at. This is fine aiming down sights like this because you know you're safe from the enemy team, right? You know you're not going to get headshot. You know you're going to be safe. Unless someone peeks you from the top left, then you're going to immediately unscope. But that's not happening. Grab comes out. Alright. Overall, not too bad. This is, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Like, the only like game-losing stuff from you is just that aiming down sights. I like that I said I won't repeat myself too much, but here I am just saying it over and over again. Anyway. Alright. So we're gonna go to defense here. Biggest things I'm gonna be looking for on defense here is your positioning. Once again. Oops, okay. Oh. Skip ahead, skip ahead. Alright. Let's see what they got again. Or what we got again. So, pretty much same thing. Except you're going to have the Reaper here now instead of the Hanzo or whatever it was last round. Definitely had an issue of confidence in my aim. I'll need to get some hours on let's go practicing. Yeah, definitely. Like if you're waiting in queue or whatever, just go to a deathmatch lobby, go to a practice range lobby, go to an aim arena lobby, and just practice those unscope shots. Like whenever you get the time to. So. All right. So back to what I was saying with the comp. So Reaper is a potential nano target here. Nanoing Ryan can kind of be inconsistent. So going for that Nano Blossom can always be a big play. Can we see they have a Bastion? So right away when you see they have a Bastion, especially in this map, I immediately would kind of will try to go for a sleep for him. Right, I'll push up here and just try and get an off-angle sleep onto him, which will allow your team to push up, right? Because if your team stays here, they're just going to die or you're going to lose resources and you're just going to take a ton of damage as you don't want to. But if you sleep him right away, it'll allow your team to kind of take back this foothold so they don't get shoved back so far, right? Because if you get shoved back here and if you guys like die like back here, you're not going to get a second recontest on this point, right? So instead, if you go for a very early sleep onto him, it can be a gamble sometimes. It can be you may get unlucky and get picked, but it's one of those game-winning plays that you can make that'll allow your team to win the game, or I guess win the point, right? That's kind of like the big effect that Ana has as a character. She can get these huge, massive sleeps that can shut down entire comps, entire ultimates, and like entire combos, right? Just from one ability, right? So as soon as you hear that Bastion, someone calls out that Bastion, look to potentially play up here and go for a cheeky sleep off onto him right here. If you're not able to get it, if it's too dangerous, then just play back, wait till he gets around the corner, and then you can look for a sleep. Just make sure it doesn't get blocked by the Reinhardt or the Zarya. So biggest thing I recommend for that is just being patient, right? If you see that the Rein is hard shielding, if you know Zarya has bubble, don't go for the sleep right away because it may just get blocked. So just be patient. If you're not able to get the cheeky early sleep, then you need to be patient. Just keep your team alive until you have a chance to sleep him, and then you can have your team push in. So we'll keep going here. We'll see how this plays out. Okay, Lucy's on you again. Once again, spending too much time with him. Oh, your Reaper gets a huge pick onto the Bastion. That's a really big solo kill. Like I said, Lucio's. They're not going to be too big of an issue, especially if you're communicating in team chat. If at least one person on your team is listening, say, Lucio, on your own, help, right? And then your Brig can turn around, shield bash him, boop him off, whatever, and it won't be that much of an issue. If you have to, nade yourself. Right? So, we got lucky. Your Reaper solo killed the Bastion, so it wasn't an issue, which is always good to see because it breaks them off of the point. So now we have to deal with the Mei. Okay, the Bastion set up again. Your team pushes into him, which is kind of weird. I don't know what your Reaper's doing. So as soon as you see that happen, just leave. Just walk out. Don't even try to save this Ashe right here. She's either gonna die or get out. If she decides to not keep walking like she does, she's just gonna die. So. Right, we have Nano. Way too early on the Nano. Yeah, extremely early. What is your Rhine supposed to do with this? Right? He can swing on their Rhine like 3 times. Oh, he goes for a pin, but like the rest of their team is here. So by the time he even gets here, Nano's gonna be pretty much over, right? So you know, waiting till he pushes out and he runs low on health or shield, then you can look for the Nano, or like when he's in the thick of the team. That's a big issue with Annas when they Nano Reinhardts, is they do it too early. I absolutely hate that. Like when I play Rhine and I get Nano like in the middle of nowhere, and my Anna's like, "Why aren't you doing anything with Nano?" And it's like, you know, I physically can't when you just kind of Nano him out like this, right? So wait on the Nanos a little bit. Lucio ate the sleep on the Bastion. That's very unfortunate. That would have hit him actually. Keeping your Brig alive. Brig blocked your anti, unfortunately. Yeah, your team's just going down. They had more ults, and you know, and we got no value out of the Nano. So, alright. Oops, I did not mean to click that. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Okay. So we know they still have the Bastion. Okay, never mind, that team's pushing. I was gonna say go high ground. Your Brig gets caught out. That's what it is. If Zarya gets pinned. Okay, right now you're down 2 and they're pushing cart with the Bastion. You just need to die. Don't even heal your Rhine right here. It's a waste. You're feeding them extra ult charge. Their Zarya already has ult, but you know, you're giving whoever else ult charge by keeping this guy alive, when you just need to be resetting. It does force them to use Grav, but a better Zarya would not Grav this. Right, it's a waste. It's a complete waste. You know, we're already down 2. Our Ashe just got back, so they completely threw this out for nothing. Instead, just make the team just reset, guys. Right, because they're pushing cart. They're already halfway through. They're already halfway through point, and we're just now dying. Instead of just resetting and coming back as a team. Reaper killed the Bastion again. This Bastion's not having a good day. So your Reaper trades with the Bastion. You guys have pretty equal spawn points. Okay, so we know he has Shatter, and this is my general playstyle is I never trust my Rhine. Like I don't even trust like mid-GM Rhines with blocking shatters, right? Because like, you know, you may accidentally drop your shield, you may lag. If you know that the enemy Rhine has shatter, don't be playing in a place where you can get shattered, right? Obviously it was blocked there by Zarya, but he would not have blocked that shatter if Zarya did not bubble him. Right, so we know their Bastion's up top. Nice sleep onto him. Your Ashe takes him out. Okay. Nice little Nano. Nano probably wasn't needed because you had already killed 3. Your Reaper killed 2 and you killed the Bastion, so the Nano wasn't necessary. Okay, that wasn't necessary either. But it is what it is. Sometimes, like when you're in the thick of a fight, you don't really think about it. You just kind of toss ultimates. I do that too. Sometimes I think I did that in a scrim yesterday. Actually, I used Ko at the end of a fight. It is what it is. Sometimes that happens. So, okay. Alright. So they have a soldier now, number Bastion. Their Lucio's on you again, trying to kill you. Okay, I don't really know what's going on here, probably because you're panicking because of the Lucio. but you dropped with your back turn to the enemy. You have no idea where the enemy team is at, and you drop from high ground. All right. Luckily, your Reaper kills too. He kills both of the DPS. It's not an issue. But once again, it's a Lucio. Nade yourself if you have to. Like their Ryan gets a swing on you for some reason, just because of how out of position that is. Waste a grav is what it is. Right. Not too bad other than that. It looks like what happens is like this Lucio has been on you all game for some reason. He's trying to play Reddit Lucio. Just don't panic, right? Because he doesn't do a ton of damage. If you have to, nade yourself. If you just call out to your team and like they can help you. The Ashe is right there. She can help you. She can dynamite him. So like if someone's on you, don't panic. Just play to live and communicate to your team. Right? I even do this against tracers. Like I won't like panic and ignore the rest of the team fight. I'll just kind of keep healing while spamming left, right, strafe. And crouching and stuff like that, so it's harder to hit me. But I'll say Tracer on Yana, and then but I won't give up my position, right? Especially if I'm holding a high ground like that, I will not give up my position because staying high ground there is just so much more important. Soldier flanks and Lucio's on you again. Good rotation away from that. This is fine because you don't have your team up here anymore, so dropping is the better option here. So, that rotation's fine. Keep going. Healing our brig.
Nano Boost is ready to deploy.
So your tanks are rotating, you should be too already. Yep, nice. Once again, way too early on the Nano. Right? Yeah, you force your Rhine to pin when he shouldn't, right? Right. If you wait a couple extra seconds, wait for him to walk forward and then nano him, now he can not only swing onto the Sigma, but then go for a pin to the backline after he kills the Sigma with nano, right? But instead you force him to charge in to get close enough, right? And that gives him no escape. It gives him no way out. Yeah, play to live. I love to say that to my supports. Play to live is such an important... definitely overestimate Lucio is. Yeah, like I said, don't be afraid of him. He's just a little frog. He's not gonna hurt you. He's just gonna boop you around a little. But yeah, play your life, play to live. And don't panic. But once again, early on the Nano, so that's kind of the repeat thing that we're seeing here as well. This is the Shatter. Once again, really good positioning. I love it. Probably didn't need to drop here, but I understand you're trying to save Rosaria, so it's fine. Just keep backing away as they're pushing, right? Okay, going for the sleep. Yeah, not bad. I'm liking your rotations. I'm liking your positioning, right? And it's definitely consistent as well. It's not like you're just randomly... it's not like you're just happening to be in the right position, right? You're consistently placing yourself in good, safe spots, which is what I like to see. Okay, instantly try to hide from the high noon. Good. Don't forget about him though. He's high nooning right there. Don't just pretend he doesn't exist. You'll get an angry Australian Frogger up behind if you say frogs are harmless. If you run into Frogger on NA servers, then you deserve it. He's on 100. He's on 210 ping, man. let him frag in the backline. So, all right, looking to recontest here. Uzari's pushing up. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Your team pushed out the tiny little window. Like when you're, I hate recontesting this point. Last second, just because it leaves you in such an open position. If you want to heal your team, you literally have to be at the edge to heal your team down here, or you have to be over here, and if you're over here there's not a ton of cover. So like if you are looking to recontest, if you have time, go out this little doorway, but like obviously here you don't have time, right? This is, we got on last second, we just had to touch kind of thing. But generally when you're recontesting, try to look either here or these stairs here. Right. Keep going. Where are you at? There you are. I'll skip ahead 20 seconds as well. Alright. Yeah, we're just wait. Looks like we're just waiting for our tanks to respawn here. Yeah, waiting for Iran to come back. He died pretty late. Good positioning once again. Okay, your Reaper went up for an ult. It looks like he didn't know what was happening. I'm gonna go ahead and blame that on him not communicating. That is a big issue with DPSs. They like to not tell us when they're ulting. You know, when you can potentially keep him alive while he's doing it. Obviously, I don't have comms from this game, so I don't know exactly what happened. So if he does call it out, make sure that you push up to try and keep him alive. Zarya gets Zarya is playing exactly where you can't hit her. Quite unfortunate. I just skipped to the beginning. Ah haha. Okay, okay. Alright, we're back, we're back. Alright, so you guys are backing off because Zarya got picked. Zarya's almost back. Alright, we have Nano here. Wait till your Rhine is in their team first. I believe in you. What? Okay, so Rhine barrier is broken. He put himself in a place where you can't heal him. If you're playing for this is the correct place to play at, pretty much. But make sure you communicate to your tanks. I'll play to the left side. Play the left side. You know what I'm gonna say? You know what? You already know what I'm going to say right here. It's Nano too early. Look, it forced him to charge into the back line. Look at where he had to go. Yeah, he charged in. He found Apple. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he went in so deep. A lot of tanks will see red when they get nanoed, but if you nano them when they're already like in there and doing their job, they're less likely to do stuff like this and pin into the backline and die. So so yeah. Acorn is another guy I've coached a few months back as well. So yeah. Too early. Yep. I'm not gonna repeat myself. I say that, and then Urian gets killed mid-shatter in Signal. Generally, I do like even though it's like, oh, that was a. Why did that bomb not show up? Wait. Okay, wait, this is too far back. I hate when the games get to like 30 minutes ish. It gets to the point where you'll literally move the slider like an inch and it'll go all the way back. I want to see how your team dies to this bomb though. Here. Okay. Oh, there's no like outline for it, so it's up there. You got very lucky you didn't die there. Okay. Zarya got blocked off from heals. It's unfortunate. Yeah, he got booped out of position by the Lucio. Yeah, definitely stuff does need to be repeated sometimes. I agree. So up to the Moira to touch. Okay. Don't fade to point. You already have people on point. You don't need to fade here. You have your diva on point. Yeah, your diva's on point. You don't need to fade here, right? So now you're stuck here with no escape. Right? They high noon. If you had fade right now, you could fade out of it. But oh, you don't get caught. You get around the corner. Luckily. Oh no, we're still holding it. Never mind. But you don't get caught, and you just end up dying. Generally with Moira, make sure we're not fading if you don't need it. You know the drill. So it looks like this is just going to be end of this one. We'll skip ahead. OT time, yay! Alright, we're back on Ana. Skip ahead. Alright, let's look at the team comp. Oh boy. Bastion Genji, the ranked special. I like it.
I have your back.
Alright. If for some reason you have a comp like this, mainly try and focus the East Coast special, yes. You're going to be focusing your Bastion because he's a stationary target. Unless he's like playing super far back like he is, then it's not as much of an issue. But like if he's on point, for example, we need to focus him a little bit more. Nade was a little early. It's not too bad though. It's not going to be a game changer. Yeah, just keep your team up here, taking a ton of damage. Yeah. So again, mechanics are pretty solid. So like, you know, you're not missing a ton of shots. Okay, look for an aggressive anti there. I don't know why you nade your D.Va as full health. When they have a comp like this, where there's a lot of stationary targets, you know, McCree, Orisa, Moira, even Junkrat, pretty stationary. Like, look for an aggressive anti, right? If you anti now, like right where you're aiming, you will hit 3 people. Right. Obviously, you've already won the fight, so it doesn't matter as much. But that's just kind of to show you how much more value you can get out of Ana than just nading a D.Va who's already half health, who's not going to die, right? And that's the big difference between higher and lower elo Anas usually, is getting more value out of the nades, right? Because if you're only hitting like one person with nade, like what's the point of even using it, right? So this is in the background. You can hear his little frog feet slapping around. And he goes down. All right, so we have Nano Blade here. I want to see how Nano Blade works with the select. Oh, okay, never mind. I guess we're not Nano Blading. See that there's a good nade. Because you hit multiple allies with it. But yeah, that nano was not necessary. There was only 2 people left alive. Make sure you keep tabs on who's here and who's not. You call him for healing there. All good, all good. Are you his duo, the Winston? But it's all good though. Genji can still get a blade off. It's just gonna be a lot harder. Oh, you're the D.Va. Okay. I see.
Nano Boost is charging.
Genji gets picked. We're just kind of pushing point here. Yada yada. Good anti. I like that. Aggressive and hitting your Winston at the same time. Some panic decisions around here. Okay, we'll see what happens. It looks like fights. The round's gonna end here. Do we cap? We're getting picks. I'll talk about panicking and stuff in a second. Nice bubble from your Winston, saves your team from that. A little later than they nade, that's fine though, just reaction times. Looks like this is going to be the end of the fight. Yeah, position. You can tell the position gets panicked here. You're just kind of all over the place. Just trying to hold on to the fight. Nano the D.Va, that's fine. Good nano. Alright, now it looks like we're a little bit more settled in here. Going in for the aggressive anti, it's what I like to see. Always go for the sleep on the Sigma, even if you don't hit it. There's always the chance that you do, and you save your team from a whole ult. This is a crazy fight, to say the least. Everyone's coming back, and you finally go down. Looks like this is going to be it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, your monkey's just stalling it out. Looks like that's gonna be it. Yep, that's it. So, real quick, I'll talk about panicking. Okay. Everyone panics. It's okay. Don't feel bad if you start to make mistakes in a team fight because things are getting stressful. Things are getting it's overtime, and your team's down 3 players, and you have to hit all these crazy shots. Right? That will get better. Right? Like I as someone who's like who had that issue before where I was like panicking during team fights, it gets better by playing more. The more times you're in those situations, the more confident you are with your abilities, the less hard it'll be to play under pressure, right? Look at someone like ML7, right? He's in these stressful situations all the time, and he's literally just like laser focused, right? But he's been playing this game for hours on end every single day, right? Since it came out. So don't like I said, it'll get better as you play the game more. So don't sweat it if you make mistakes in a high pressure fight.
Initiating match.
So we'll skip ahead here onto their attack. We're on the Ana again. We got Ryan, Diva, Genji, Bastion again, I believe. We're switching tanks. Oh, guess not. Alright. Once again, making sure that that Bastion stays alive no matter what. He's going to be your main damage dealer. Genji's just an ult bot in this. You're going to be looking to end the game with Nano Blade, right? They only have a minute here. So we'll break this down, right? So we only have a minute, and they have to get it halfway through second. They physically cannot get it there in 1 minute. It is physically impossible, right? So they have to win in overtime, right? Because even if they're like, if you never touch them on cart, if you never contest cart, it still will not get to where you guys got it in 1 minute. So what needs to be happening right now is communicating to your team, save up all 6 ults. You do not have to use a single ult until you are right, like unless you get a pick early, like if you kill like 1 or 2 people dry, then you can start, you can maybe look to start using ults, but you do not have to use a single ult until you get to like right here, right? That is plenty of time to charge up Grav, Nano, Brig ult, Shatter, Blade, and Bastion ult. That is plenty of time, right? So if you're in comms, make sure your team knows that. Do not ult. No one use ults. Knowing how this match ends is very bad news for us. Oh no. So that is one of the biggest mistakes I see happen. It's really good advice that we did not take. I see. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's one of the biggest mistakes that I see in these types of games, and that like players just don't seem to understand for some reason, right? Is that you don't have to use a single ult. You just have to kill them in overtime and get them off the cart, right? So why not just save up all 6 ults, be patient, don't freak out and panic. Like, what the main thing that I see happening is like when they get to this first point here, players will start to panic, right? They'll be like, oh, we got to stop them from getting this point. No, you don't. You get no extra time from getting this point. You gain absolutely nothing from capping this point, but I see a ton of players all the time just freak out and start ulting right here to stop them from capping. Like, there's no need, right? Even if you die at a fight here and they cap and you get long spawn, you will be back in time before it gets here. Obviously, it'd be a little different if it was closer. Maybe tell your team not to contest last second, just give the point. But here, even if you die and they cap first and you get long spawn, you'll be back in time. So there's no need to panic ever here. You have Nano Blade, and they have a station. Even if they beat your Nano Blade, Bastion is stationary. Your Genji can kill him through beat, right? And then they won't have beat for your Grav. They won't have they won't have anything to do with the Bastion ult or Bastion being set up on an angle. They have nothing to do with that. So just save up all 6 ults.
Watching your back.
Okay, your Bastion was set up in a weird spot with no shield, and your tanks get caught. Really unfortunate. Right off the bat, your Brig should just be dying right now. But if I know this elo, they're gonna try and greed. Sigma's chasing, yeah. me see what happens. Okay, yeah, your Brig is just needs to get on point and die. She's staying there for some reason. And your Bastion's set up top with no shield. Yeah, look at this Ryan. What is he like? He's panicking, just trying to get to the point, right? You guys don't have to push out like this. Your Bastion's in a terrible position, and your Ryan's just kind of just put himself in a corner where he's forced to charge into the back line. Okay, and they waste an ult, right? That's already one ult down that they don't have here. So I'm not this part. Obviously, there are going to be things you can do better here, right? But this mainly is not on you. Some games are just like this. Some games your team plays poorly, and even if you tell them exactly what to do, they will not do it, and they will feed, right? Like this Bastion. Even if I could be yelling at this Bastion right now, come back, you know, just regroup, 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 and he might not listen. Your Brig too, she just dies there for free for no reason. Like, why is he setting up in front of 6 people? Some games are just like this. It's unfortunate. But we have Nano and we have Blade, right? They don't have beat yet. This should be a free fight win. We go for the Nano Blade. Let's see what happens. Okay, so he kills the Bastion. He's not able to get more, though. We trade. We're even right now. Pushing up here. Slightly late on the nade. If you were maybe a little bit faster on there, your tanks could have lived that. But they were out of position. Your Bastion's just absolutely getting dumped on. Yeah, if that nade was a little early, you may have been able to keep them alive, but once again, they're the ones out of position. So it's not necessarily on you.
Nano Boost is charging.
So yeah, now we're in desperation time. Now we just have to get on and touch here. Looking for if it gets to this point, you have to look for big plays. You know, getting a flank and getting a huge nade or anti can win your team the game, which is what you're going for. You missed the sleep, unfortunate. And Zarya gets hooked. Big anti. But yeah, your team's just or no, that was their Zarya, sorry. Yeah, sorry, my bad. That was their Zarya who dies early, but yeah, their Bastion's just too set up and they use beat. So once again, we're kind of in that panic mode. This is last fight, we just have to stay on point. Sleep the more, yeah. Very unfortunate game how that turned out. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Unfortunately, a lot of that was not in your control, other than maybe the nade here. The nade being slightly late on your tanks when they pushed up here-ish. Yeah, lots of mistakes from teammates here. Not a ton you can do. And like usually I don't like saying that, right? It's like because there's always something you can take away from it. Right? But sometimes things are just like that. Like you lose the game no matter what you do. You could be playing out of your mind, and you can still lose. Like you could have like 30 enemies slept and like 25k healing or something like that, and still lose, right? Just because, you know, sometimes teammates are like that. But yeah, tanks push up a little too hard here, and nade was slightly too late. Nade now. Yeah, nade's way too late. But get 30k healing for this game. Yeah. Unfortunately, high healing numbers sometimes signify a feeding team more than a good support player. Like sometimes I will have a really good Ana game and I'll have silver healing, right? Like over a Mercy. Just because, you know, I'll have a ton of utility, I'll be hitting a ton of sleeps, I'll be hitting a ton of antis. But, you know, our tanks aren't taking much damage and I'll just have less healing, right? But here, like, you know, you did the best you could. Lots of mistakes you can learn from it though, right? So I'll kind of do like a review real quick, just as like a reminder for the end of VOD, since you know, that's pretty much the game. Biggest things: scope down. You're scoping so much, way too much. So like I said, practice that unscoped. Let's see, jumping when you're not scoped. That's going to be another big one. Let's see, nanos. Try and figure out if you're able to get them off a little bit faster. I think, because obviously like it helps protect against misnanoing someone or nanoing the wrong person, but it can still kind of slow you down a little bit. And then the biggest thing is panicking. Right? Make sure we're not panicking when you don't need to. If there's a Lucio on you, he's not necessarily going to be able to kill you. Don't freak out and lose your positioning, and ignore the rest of the team because that happens. Those are going to be like the big ones. Obviously, there are some small things here and there, like losing high ground and playing in weird spots. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this one. Thank you, Grim, for the VOD. It was very, very fun to VOD review, having you in chat as well.